Greenpeace raises alarm over industry influence in global plastics treaty talks. In a stark revelation at the fifth session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, INC5, for a global plastics treaty held in Busan, South Korea, Greenpeace Africa, alongside findings from the Center for International Environmental Law, CL, highlighted an unsettling scenario: the overwhelming presence of industry lobbyists. According to CL, 220 lobbyists from the fossil fuel and chemical sectors attended the negotiations, marking the highest number recorded at any such event to date. This significant industry presence has sparked concerns around potential conflicts of interest and the undermining of environmental and public health objectives in the treaty. Helen Cahasso Dina, project lead for Pan-African Plastics Project at Greenpeace Africa, expressed dismay, emphasizing that such industry dominance at the negotiating table continually threatens to dilute the ambitious goals initially set for the treaty. Dina stressed the crucial need for member states to resist corporate pressures and champion a treaty that aggressively curtails plastic production while ensuring a just transition for workers in affected sectors and affected communities. Graham Forbes, head of delegation to the Global Plastics Treaty negotiations and global campaign lead for Greenpeace USA, echoed Dina's concerns. He criticized the evident desperation of an industry that prioritizes profit margins over planetary health and human safety. Forbes called for an urgent response from participating countries, urging them to finalize a treaty that confronts the plastic crisis head-on, phasing out single-use plastics and prioritizing sustainable practices and human health. The presence of such a high number of lobbyists from industries directly linked to plastic production poses a significant threat to the integrity of the treaty negotiations. These industries are often implicated in perpetuating the plastics crisis, driven by the profitability of single-use plastics and the broader use of petrochemical products. This conflict of interest underscores the need for transparency and stringent regulations on lobbying at international environmental treaty negotiations. As global awareness and scientific understanding of the environmental impacts of plastic pollution increase, the pressure mounts on international leaders and negotiators to enact decisive, impactful policies. The role of civil society groups like Greenpeace is increasingly crucial in holding these entities accountable and ensuring that environmental and public health take precedence over corporate interests. The call by Greenpeace and CEL for a robust, binding global plastics treaty reflects a growing international consensus on the need for systemic change in how plastics are produced, consumed, and disposed of. As the negotiations progress, the world watches closely, hoping for a treaty that will mark a significant step forward in global environmental governance and the fight against plastic pollution. Thank you for choosing Satori News.